Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new. Make sure that you subscribe before you leave. That way you'll never miss out on another video. Every single Friday on my channel, I do a free pick a card reading. Now today, I was drawn to do this reading of how can I laugh more? Because I've noticed that we don't laugh a lot. Like, when was the last time you truly just laughed until it hurt? Where you laughed until tears came out of your eyes. Like you just laughed and laughed where your tummy started actually hurting. We need laughter in our life every single day. It's so important that I feel like we should make it a priority to make sure that we laugh every single day. We owe it to our spirit. We owe it to our soul. We owe it to our inner child. We owe it to ourselves for everything we have ever been through and everything we have ever overcome. We owe it to ourselves to laugh every single day, multiple times a day. So I was inspired to do this reading. So what you're going to do is pick card group number 1, 2, 3, or 4, or whichever crystal that you are drawn to. Now, these crystals, they have the chakras engraved in them. Now, I do sell these on my shop. If you guys are interested, they do come in a set, and there's a billion ways you could work with them. They're very, very high vibration, and I have them charging with a lot of very high vibration energies, like Kali energy, Ganesh energy. So if you guys are interested, go ahead. But go ahead and pick if you want the root chakra, the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, or the crown chakra. Now, another announcement I want to make really quickly before we start the video is I just made new products for my Etsy store. Now, when I make new products, I don't make a lot. They go really quickly. I follow my spirit. I follow what my guides tell me, and then I make a few in a batch, because if I sat down and made 100, I'd be exhausted, and that wouldn't, I can't put that much energy. I can't put 100 products worth of energy. You know what I'm saying? So I make a select few, and then it just sells out really quickly. And I just get a lot of questions asked when things will be back up in stock. These are a few items that may come back into stock. They may not, but I do want to tell you guys about them. The first one is the Kali spray. This is a Kali protection spray. It's been infused with all of her favorite oils. This is a way to conjure her energy, to call upon her for protection, for strength, to battle your inner demons, to open your roads, and overall very protective and powerful female energy. This also has garnet stone and black obsidian stone, which are stones that she really, really likes and that correspond with her energy as well. So if you're interested in that, go ahead, head over to my shop. The next thing that I want to share with you guys is these Kali prepared candles. So I do have her mantra on here, and I have her photo on here, and we also have the candle prepped with her favorite things, as well as a little tiny cowrie shell. And she loves cowrie shells, and cowrie shells are actually a symbol of divinity, a symbol of feminine power. So if you guys are interested in those, go ahead and head over to my shop. But yeah, let's get started with the reading. Okay, for everybody that picked card group number 1, how can you laugh more? How can you add more laughter into your life? The first thing that comes up is spiritual connection. A relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. So I feel like one of the biggest reasons that you don't allow yourself to laugh so much is because of your lack of this spiritual connection, whether this spiritual connection is with someone else or with you. But majority of the time, if you don't have a spiritual, healthy connection with yourself, it's very, very hard for you to have any kind of connection with someone else. So I feel like this is a huge reason that it's hard for you to just not be so serious and not try to control every aspect of your life. Because you don't have a sense of self, and it's because you've been so busy, and you don't have quiet time, you don't have me time, you don't have that stillness. That's something that is missing in your life. It's that stillness within you, that center of your being is very chaotic and it just in turmoil and just stressed out. And it's time for you to build a spiritual connection with your spirit, with that life force inside of you. You don't pay attention to it. And you're being called to pay attention to it, because as soon as you even pay a little bit of attention to it, you're going to notice yourself not be so serious about life. You're going to notice yourself be a little bit more playful. That comes to the second card, fertility. The fact that I just said the word playful, and then the fact that she's holding a little bubble with a baby inside. This is very, very powerful, because due to the things that you have been through in your life, you have put yourself in a bubble. You put your innocence in a bubble to protect it. That inner child of yours, you don't allow it to come out and play because you put it in a bubble to protect it. And this card, it has a lot of messages of potential, powerful creative energy. And that means manifestation energy. And I feel like there's a lot of blocks in your life. And the reason is because you are very serious. A lot of the times you wake up serious, you go to work serious, you come home serious, you go to sleep serious. Like, there's no play. You don't allow yourself to play, or you feel guilty for playing, and when I say play, I mean like what makes you happy? What makes you feel like a kid again? What makes you laugh? What makes you lose track of time? Do you do these things for yourself? And if you don't, then it's very, very important that you do, because one of the cards that comes up is surrender stress. You give stress priority over play. That's a huge, huge, huge thing in your life right now, is the stressors are taking over. They're consuming you, and there's not even room for play. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. Then we have this. We have peaceful among thorns. So here, the message is that the reason you don't allow yourself to laugh is because, how do I even put this into words? Like, I have the image in my mind. It's like a rose. A rose grows, but the stem is filled with thorns. And I feel like you are the rose. You are this beautiful, beautiful high vibration thing. You give off, you have that scent. You know the scent of a rose? It's intoxicating, right? And you have that within you. But you're so focused on the thorns. You're just like, there's this sharp thing in my life, and then there's this thorn over here, and this poking me over there, and you won't focus on the rose aspect of your life. You're focusing on the stem aspect of your life. But here's the thing. I feel like you are being called to, and here's another thing. I'm actually channeling Kali energy right now. I have her stuff in front of me, and I'm like really asking for her guidance throughout this whole reading. So the fact that you got this rose card, I feel like what you're being asked to do is stop focusing on the thorns, stop focusing on the stem. You are not the stem. You are the rose. Focus on bringing out the scent of you, your essence. Focus on being the rose, you know? Focus on your color, not your color. What am I even trying to say? Focus on the beauty that you are, because you have just been focusing on your stem aspect and the thorns. Now, what you're being asked to do is to look again at your life. These thorns, the stem area, these things that are poking you, these are not you. You are the rose, and you're being called to look at yourself in a way where you're protected. Somehow, look at these thorns and these things that are poking you, that in a way where they are actually protecting you. They're protecting your spirit. Maybe not, we are spiritual beings in like this flesh human meat suit, right? So these thorns are not protecting your meat suit. They're protecting your spirit within. They're protecting that essence of the rose within you. And that's when you can come to the realization of miracles and expecting the wondrous to emerge. You have the ability to make a wish, and that wish can come forth into your life like magic. But it's very important that you stop focusing on the thorns and the pokey things. It's very important that you focus on yourself and your essence, your truth, who you truly are inside. And that comes to the card of existence. Do you see how this lady is sitting on a blooming flower or lily? I don't know what that is. She is sitting there completely still and confident within herself, within her inner being, within her truth, her essence, her rose self. And she just knows that she doesn't even have to do anything. All she needs to do is sit there still, calm her mind, connect with her spirit, put a thought out into the universe, and she can attract it like that. And that comes to the reason that you picked the root chakra crystal. It seems like you are suffering from your root chakra being weak. When your root chakra is weak, you feel unstable. You feel like you're not completely safe and held up by your environment and where you are in your life. Maybe you don't feel so stable in your relationship. Maybe you don't feel so stable in your finances or the place that you live in. And this is causing you a lot of turmoil and stress. But you are really being asked right now to focus on who you really are, what makes you happy, what makes your truth come out, what makes your essence come out. Like for a rose, when you pick it, you put it in water. You can boil it in water and make rose water. You know, you can dry up the roses and use it like on the bed, like on honeymoons. What do? They put rose petals on the bed. Use your essence to make you happy. And one of the first things is you have to figure out what your essence is and what makes you happy. Everybody's essence is different. Everybody's a different flower, you know, like if you can understand what I'm saying. So this is a message that is asking for you to live within your truth. And that is what is going to bring more laughter into your life. Stop hiding who you really are. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And if you guys want to go more in depth from this reading, go ahead and book a reading with me on my store. Thank you guys so much for watching. For everybody that picked card group number 2 or the crown or the third eye chakra, let's go ahead and see what is keeping you from laughing. The first card that comes up is treasure your loved ones. It is important to love others deeply. This is very, very interesting. Okay. Wow, I feel like this reading has a lot of pain behind it. Like I almost feel like crying when I'm about to read this. And for all of these readings, I'm very, very, I asked the goddess Kali for her guidance in all of these readings. So I feel like her energy is here showing its presence. And I want to let you guys know that I feel like the message that came up is treasure your loved ones. But I feel like in order for you to treasure your loved ones, you have to treasure yourself first. And I feel like that is something that you are not doing. You are not treasuring who you are. You are not showing yourself love. And you're not nurturing yourself. And that comes to the next card, which is Imrama. This is the card of a voyage, you know, crossing deep waters, pilgrimage, a journey of the soul. Oh, that's really, really interesting. Okay, I kind of see where this reading is going. There's so many messages in this reading. So the first thing that comes up is you're being asked to really nurture yourself. You are not giving yourself the attention and energy and love that you need. And you're being guided and asked to really pay attention to yourself, give yourself love. When I'm being called to give myself love, it's very hard for me. Like I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to do. So what I like to do is imagine like my 10-year-old self, my 11-year-old self, my 6-year-old self. And then I imagine me trying to give her what she needs. So if like maybe that will resonate with you, maybe that might help you. Your 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old self. What does she need? Like, how could you nurture her? Was there something that happened that maybe you need to speak to her? Maybe just call forth that vision of yourself at that age and just nurture her in your head, like in your vision. That's very, very powerful, and that is insanely healing. So I feel like maybe if that's something that resonates with you, definitely there's a journey of your soul. And I feel like you are going through it. You're going through, and especially right now, Mercury retrograde brings up a lot of things, brings up a lot of things that we don't want, to deal with, we don't want to look at, we try to deny it, we try to brush it under the rug, we try to ignore it. And for a while it works until this Mercury stuff comes up, and then it just comes up naturally and you're forced to deal with it. Because here's the thing, we are these conscious beings in these human bodies. And so it's not always up to us. It's like, first of all, we're programmed by society, by parents, religions growing up. And then when we grow up, now this programming is like glitching, because now our true program comes in, which is our spirit, our truth, who we really are, our being inside of this meat suit that we're in. And so I feel like that's a journey you're going on right now. It's like you're trying to differentiate the programming that you received earlier and the programming that you're downloading inside of your mind through the universe. Like, you're just like, what the heck is going on? And because of that, you're going through this journey of your soul. I'm sorry, that is my air fryer going off if you hear the beeping. So you're going through this journey of your soul where you're picking and choosing. Now you're like, okay, I was programmed these things in my childhood, but now that in my adulthood, I see from a different perspective. I see this, I want this, like I want to believe in this now, I want to go on this path now. And there, like, when you shift from one belief to another, from one path to another, within that shift is like, it's like moving from one place to another, right? You have to pack, you have to take what you want, leave behind the rest. A lot of the times you find that you throw away so much stuff. And I feel like that's what's going on. You're packing to move spiritually. And now you're just like, okay, what do I keep and what do I let go? And here's what the universe, and especially Goddess Kali, wants you to know is begin now. Take your first step. Don't forget yourself, because what you were programmed before was to put yourself second. And now that you're moving, whether you're actually physically moving somewhere or spiritually you're moving from one place to another, don't forget yourself in the process, and don't be afraid to leave. Do you see this man? He's leaving home. He's leaving his comfort. He's going on a journey. Like, you got 2 journey cards. Now, this reading is very, very beautiful, because the reason that you don't allow yourself to laugh is because you're so focused on the journey. I feel like you barely laugh, and you're being very, very called to surrender to creativity right now. And that means let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So whatever you're going through right now, I feel like, yeah, it is like, how moving is very, very stressful sometimes? I feel like that's the kind of energy that is within you right now. It's like this moving kind of an energy where you're just like, okay, I have so much to do. I have to pack this and this. I have to get boxes. I have to throw away this. Like, I don't even know what to get rid of, what to keep. Like, you're in that kind of an energy right now, which is okay. It's okay, but also take the time out to nurture yourself throughout this move. And don't forget yourself, because once this move is done, and it's on the verge of being done, like you can feel it. Once it's done, there's a rebirth of you. The number 10, that is a very, very profound number. It's going to be a rebirth of you where you tame your beast. And that's a very, very beautiful thing, because when you tame your beast, one of the first things you're going to do is laugh. And I feel like another reason that you picked the third eye chakra And this is on a labradorite crystal. Labradorite crystal is my favorite crystal. And I feel like you're being called also to work with the labradorite crystal. Labradorite has changed my life because labradorite, it has the energy of synchronicity. It has the energy of putting you in the right place at the right time, at the right moment, for your highest good. So if you can work with that, and especially for the crown chakra or the third eye chakra to be on the labradorite stone, it's very powerful. So if you are interested in this crystal, I have it in a set of all the chakra stones. It's up in my shop. But if not, you can just get yourself a labradorite crystal and work with that. But definitely there is a journey happening. And don't worry. Make sure that you nurture yourself through this journey, because there's going to be a rebirth happening where you're not going to put yourself second anymore, and you deserve that. You deserve to put yourself first, and you're gonna put yourself first. This reading was very beautiful. I feel a lot of calmness and magic in this reading. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. For everybody that picked card group number 3 or the crown chakra, or no, this is the throat chakra. The throat chakra. Let's get into your reading and see why you are not allowing yourself to laugh, or how can you make yourself laugh more. The first card that comes up is a romance card. Lavish the one that you love with personal attention and affection. Okay. So I feel like your love life has a lot to do with you allowing yourself to laugh, and how much you are laughing in your life, how much laughter you allow in your life. Your love life has a lot to do with it. So if you're in a relationship, you are being called and asked to show a little bit more affection and love to your partner. If you're not in a relationship, I feel like you are longing and yearning for one so badly that it's causing you to just be so serious and so in a low vibration kind of, that you don't, laughter is not even in the picture. And here's the thing. There's two kinds of loneliness. There's loneliness and there's aloneness. Loneliness is without the presence of another, which means you get sad and depressed and lonely. Like, you crave another. And then there's aloneness. Aloneness is when you are alone and you celebrate it. Like, you are alone and you get to do whatever you want. You get to, like, you're alone. You don't have to worry about anyone. You are alone and you just have the time of your life. You could still be alone in a relationship where you could have your solitude and just celebrate your aloneness, even if you're in a relationship. But then there's also loneliness in your relationship, where you could be in a relationship and still feel lonely. Now, if you're single, you have to differentiate. Are you lonely or are you alone? Alone is when it's a celebration of your solitude. Loneliness is a craving for another being. So I feel like you're being called and asked to see, are you lonely or are you alone? And the next card is a return of Aphrodite. Temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, treating as sacred. Okay, I kind of get the message right now is, I feel like you've been feeling lonely, like a craving for another, whether you're in a relationship or single. It's like this craving for someone, a companion, right? A companion, somebody to spend time with, somebody to talk to, somebody to release all your innermost, deepest, darkest feelings and thoughts to. But you're being called right now to reveal those exact things that you want to reveal to another being, to reveal it to yourself. And this goes for anyone, whether you're alone, whether you're in a relationship or you're single, which means the best thing I can recommend is to get a journal. Like, you can get one at the dollar store. Go to the dollar store, get a journal that is cute to you, that speaks out to you, that inspires you, and just write in there everything you would tell a companion. What are those things you want to, like, tell someone, talk to someone about, but you feel like you're alone, or you feel like you're so lonely that you don't have anybody to talk to? Write it down in the journal and just watch what happens. Like when you do that, I'm getting this energy, and like right now in this reading, I'm channeling Kali goddess energy a lot. I feel like if you want to get the journal and dedicate it to Kali and just write to her, like, I'm feeling this, and this is my darkest thought. This is the deepest, darkest thoughts that I have, and whatever it is that you're feeling, write it out to her. And then I also feel like the next thing that comes up is grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. I feel like because you are yearning for like this companion so much, or somebody to talk to, or even somebody to understand you, you lose track of all the good things in your life, which happens. Like, it happens to me too. And so you're being called to not only write in your journal about everything that you want to talk about, but also write about all the good things in your life to remind your soul and remind your spirit of all the good things that are in your life. And that inner child of yours, nurture her or him. You know, tell him or her all the good things that are going on in your life, even amidst, you know, the loneliness or the aloneness. Another thing that I see is surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. This is interesting. Okay, so okay, so I see another thing that is a stubbornness and anger and chains. I feel like you've been held back. Either you have held yourself back, or a relationship is holding you back, or a career is holding you back. Something is holding you back, and you're getting resentful and very, very angry about it. And that's why I feel like right now for you to, probably the best thing is to journal it out, or if you want to, if you resonate with it, to seek out a counselor or a psychiatrist or a therapist or whatever. Me personally, journaling worked for me better than any therapist or counselor or whatever. But, you know, that's not for everyone, but I'm sharing with you guys my journey in case it resonates with you. And I feel like you also have to open up your throat chakra, which means speak. Speak your truth. Speak what's truly on your mind. But before you speak it out loud to a person, I feel like you should write it down. That's a strong energy I'm getting. Write it down so that you can process it, interpret it, deal with it, heal it, whatever. You do it first with your own spirit, and then the words you speak out loud after that is going to hold so much power. And I feel like you are very, very stubborn in speaking your truth, speaking like what you truly want, how you truly feel. You're very stubborn in actually releasing that to someone else. So that's why I feel like the journal thing is like, it keeps popping up in my head, because it's nothingness. It's this blank page, and you get to fill it with everything you're feeling, everything you're thinking about. And from there, I feel like a lot of healing is going to happen. And this healing is going to be very, very important for your laughter. Like, you don't allow laughter into your life because of all of this stuff that's going on. You're held back by so much resentment. And it's very important for you to, I feel like it's very important for you to do this. Like, just get a journal, not even a journal, if you want to record yourself. Just sit down, turn a camera on, turn your phone recorder on, and just speak. You can speak to Goddess Kali, you can speak to yourself, your higher self, or whatever god or goddess you believe in. But I feel like there is a release that needs to happen, but this release has to happen between you and yourself. Not even you and yourself. If you feel more inclined to go to a therapist, that's fine too. But it's definitely something that you have to heal within yourself before you approach a different person or your partner or, you know, a family member. And this is what has been keeping you from laughing. Because I feel like the stress of, you know, all of this stuff going on within you is just keeping you from allowing yourself to just be free and childlike and laugh. So I hope that this reading gave you some clarity. Thank you so much for watching. For everybody that picked group number 4, or the crown chakra crystal, let's go ahead and see what is preventing you from laughing. How can you laugh more? Okay, the first thing that I see is surrender to rest and sleep. I feel like you are exhausted, and that's one of the huge reasons you don't even laugh. You don't even think about like laughter in your life, and on an everyday basis too. So the message here is to prevent burnout, slow down, and honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. That's something that's very, very much needed. Another thing that I see is obsession. Okay. I see that you're very, very obsessed with making sure that everything is done on time, everything is taken care of. And I also see that like when certain things happen, a challenge comes up, a struggle comes up, you feel like, how am I ever going to deal with it? How am I going to get out of it? Is this forever? Is it permanent? It almost feels permanent when something comes up, when a struggle comes up. Another thing that I'm seeing is the universe is asking you, and not even the universe, I'm really channeling Kali energy right now. I feel like even her energy is trying to tell you to expand your horizons. Think outside of the box. I feel like you have conformed yourself, and a lot of the things you see on social media, TV, movies, religion, the things you have been taught, your belief systems you created through hurt and pain, these have taught you to be a certain way, like you've boxed yourself in. And in this box, laughter is not so much a priority. Laughter is not so much allowed. So you're being asked to let go of this obsession to take care of everything, this obsession to make your life look a certain way, this obsession to make sure that everything is on point. Now you're being asked to surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. I feel like that's what you have been doing, is like just trying to force your life to look a certain way, trying to force your career to look a certain way, trying to force your relationship to look a certain way. And it caused you to have a lot of worry and negative thinking because you can never catch up. You can never be like almost like perfection, right? You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So here's another thing is I actually have a video on like how to get rid of negative thoughts. And one of the biggest things is as soon as you feel yourself having a negative thought, you have to get up and do something different. Because if you sit there and sometimes, this is not for everyone, but sometimes for a majority of us, if you sit there and you think about that negative thought for even more than 17 seconds, remember the 17-second rule by Abraham Hicks. If you think about something for 17 seconds, you create a vibration. If you think about it for double that, you create a stronger vibration of that energy. So as soon as you find yourself in a negative thought, and how do you know that it's a negative thought? You don't feel good, basically. Like that's it. You'll know it's a negative thought if you do not feel good thinking about it. So if you sit there and you're thinking and something comes up that just does not make you feel good, either you sit there and you think about it and you find a resolution, process that thought. Let the thought come up and ask like, why is it coming up? Where in your body are you feeling what when this thought comes up? That's kind of how you process and heal it. Or get up and change what you're doing right then and there, which means raise your vibration right then and there. If you find yourself feeling that low vibration, change your vibration. Put music on, high vibration music, mantras on YouTube. There's a million mantras on YouTube you could use. Light a candle, incense, take a walk, play with your animals, play with your kids, do something fun that raises your vibration. Positive vibration gets rid of negative, So another thing that I see is make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. And I feel like that's what you've been doing. And because of that, you don't allow yourself to laugh, or you just think it's not important. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. I feel like this is something that is suffering in your life, is your intuition and your faith of guidance, or even guidance from any energy or your higher self, God, the universe. I feel like there's either you're doubting it right now, or there was a period that you doubted it and it really affected your faith. So you're being really called and asked to expand your horizons. Now, here's what happens with me. Sometimes And this is a very spiritual being, and I feel like you are a very, very spiritual being. So sometimes you are called to work with an energy, and then sometimes you're being called to work with a different energy. And sometimes we have been taught, like, no, you can only follow one path. I don't believe that. Like, this is me telling you my belief system in order to just kind of give you an example. But sometimes I'm being called to channel Kali energy. Sometimes I'm being called to channel Alegua energy, Obatala energy, Ganesh energy. But nothing is wrong. It's where your spirit leads you. Sometimes you may align on the frequency of a certain energy, and then sometimes you may not. And then sometimes you align more with a different frequency of a different energy. And that's okay. And I feel like nobody's ever told you that it's okay. You don't have to have like one path. You can be esoteric, and you could be like, what is that word? I forgot the word where you can have like different paths, and it's okay. And I feel like a huge message for me to tell you is it's okay, and have the courage to follow whatever path you want to follow, depending on where your vibration leads you. It is okay. The more and more that you follow it, the more and more that you allow it in, this automatic childlike playfulness is just going to automatically be born within you. And you'll find yourself just laughing more. You'll want to laugh more. You'll be drawn to things that make you laugh and play and have fun. And another thing that I'm seeing is farewell to the moon. Appreciate and enjoy the lunar light cycles. So I feel like when something happens, you kind of feel like it's permanent. And when you allow yourself to just be, to just follow whichever path that you are led to follow at whatever time, you'll understand that these are all cycles. Sometimes your vibration is following this path. Sometimes your vibration wants to follow that path. And it is okay. Allow yourself to do it and explore it. And the next card is slow down. Pause and allow things to unfold. Like, this goes so synchronistic with your reading. Another thing is that I wanted to mention is when I was pulling cards for this, group 1, 2, and 3, the cards popped out as normal. For you guys, for this group number 4, it took more than 5 minutes for even one card to pop out. So I feel like maybe you're very, very indecisive. Maybe it's hard for you to make a choice on where you want to go, which path you want to follow, what career you want to go to, a relationship. But it's hard for you to make a decision. But right now you're being asked to slow down and just take care of yourself first before you even move forward with a career or path or decision. And that comes to the next card, which is embrace your emotions. Like, this is something you need to do before you move forward, is allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. And that's something that is coming out of the box. Like, you're trapped in that box with all your emotions. And right now it's a time for you to see what emotions are there, deal with it, heal it, let it come forth, or change your vibration too, If you feel yourself in a negative thought and you feel it spiraling into more negative thoughts, that's when you need to change your vibration. Slow down. Have the courage to sleep and rest and come out of that box. Come out of that obsession with all of that negative thoughts and doubting thoughts. The last card that comes up in your reading is love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. And you pick the crown chakra. So I feel like you're stuck in a state where you feel like you're stuck. Basically, you feel like you're stuck. The energy is not moving. And laughter is not even like in the picture. And here's the thing. It's time for you to shift the energy. So work with purple crystals, work with your crown chakra, which means you could wear more purples, you could wear more blues, light more blue and purple candles, work with amethyst crystals, and also surround yourself with love. So everything you do every single day make sure that you do it because you're drawn to it out of a loving place. And if something ever makes you feel bad or stressed out or low vibration, do not walk towards it. This is very essential in your happiness and in the fact that, you know, allowing laughter and play into your life. So I hope that this reading gave you some clarity and guidance. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a really great weekend. Bye.